that pop and it's bigger, and it tends to be okay to do a blind stick there because it's more by feel anyway, because you're not seeing a flash or something. If you're doing a butterfly, you can do a butterfly anywhere, and actually butterflies on the hand work really, really well. Yep. And it's, I mean, y'all think it's like a 20 gauge IV, okay? It's not that bad. It's between a 20 and a 22.
I was gonna say it's even
less than a 20 gauge.
And I always use 18.
Yeah, inserting tubes without inserting the needle further, right?
Yeah.
So this is a rubber covered needle. It goes into here, clean to clean. And then this is our needle that goes into the person. And the bevel on this is super long, you guys. Can you see that bevel?
Yeah.
See how long it is?
That's a giant needle.
Yeah, it's only a 21 gauge.
Really?
I'm still calling it giant.
You can call it giant.
It looks
I'm just
big
sharing
because
with
you
you
don't.
that it is a
It's
21
dark
gauge.
and silver and shiny.
So I want to show you before I demonstrate the procedure that it's entirely possible to puncture the vein and still have the bevel out of the skin. If you do that, you'll know immediately because you'll hear this horrible, horrible sound and you won't get any suction because the air is going in here and it's messing up the vacuum of the system. So you have to be very cognizant when you're inserting that you insert at an angle so that your bevel is in the vein and not through the vein because that bevel is long. Now that you've seen how long. I like to insert with my right hand. Stop when you feel the pop, kind of like an IO, right? And then I have to push this tube onto the rubber covered needle without pushing the needle into the vein. So I'm stabilizing this assembly with my left hand, and then I'm going to stabilize with my first and second finger on these wings while I push down here.
They'll stop filling once the pressure has been equalized.
They should. So I was clearly in the vein, it was pressurized. They do honestly lose their vacuum. Like, so when when we ask, like, do things really expire? These things really expire. If you look at the tubes, if there's not a line in the middle of them, you have to go to the top of the label.
Oh, okay. So I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
and they
see
tend
it.
to stop. Yeah, so you have to go to the top of the label if there's not a line on it. It's only 8.5 milliliters. And then they'll give you a little rack where you stand it. Even though this is also a 21 gauge, but the bevel's shorter. So it makes it a bit more user friendly. And you insert it in an angle that's very similar to an IV. So it's a bit more user friendly for folks who are used to an IV. While I fill.
But you're not pushing on the needle. You have that little
Right,
bit
I'm
of.
just
Yeah,
holding on
slack.
the wings here. So I think that this is
See,
pretty real time.
that's about what how your filling rate is.
This is pretty real time.
Much nicer for real.
And then they'll tell you which ones to shake and which ones not to shake, and if you shake them all, it's really okay. World does not end.
Rock, not shake.
Right. Tilt. Gently tilt back and forth. Clean 2x2 and put it here. Pull this back, and then this guy slides up to lock. And this whole assembly, which is really unwieldy at times, goes into a sharps container. And if you want even more superstar points from your lap draw person, tell them that if they hold it with their arm flat out instead of bent, it'll produce less. I know, that's a good tip, huh? And then you give them smiley face Band-Aid or draw a horse on it or whatever you want.